Piazza Grande.
Buonasera Piazza Grande.
Buonasera Giona.
Buonasera Giada.
Che serata, la serata di una delle sezioni del festival, Open Doors, la presentiamo tra poco, ed è la serata di uno dei grandi maestri del cinema. Tonight we return to small town England, and even more importantly, we have the pleasure of welcoming once again a great masters of contemporary cinema. A director who focuses on outcasts and never forgets the humanity of its characters. To this day, after a career spanning more than 5 decades, cinema remains a political issue for Ken Loach.
Ah, fuck's sake.
Please welcome Ken Loach and Paul Laverty. Welcome to Locarno. Welcome back.
Grazie Piazza Grande.
Your welcome is overwhelming, and thank you very much for that. And from Paul and me and all the good friends and comrades we work with, your generosity is extraordinary. So thank you for that. Thank you.
But before we introduce the old oak, we have a wee surprise for you.
Oh, well.
Please welcome Mr. Ken Loach.
I've been here now several times. It's a wonderful place to see films, and I'm really delighted to be here.
You have a background and you have a perception, so the world you see is refracted through your eyes.
Un cinema politico, sociale, un cinema sull'uomo, su come deve cambiare, su come può cambiare.
The film is about a man who is 60, nearly 60, nearly 60, not quite.
And everyone is shouting so loud, sometimes the only way to be heard is the still small voice.
There is no
What's
money
that?
and no one.
What is that? Take that out! Take that out! Give it to me.
We were told that society was about making life better for everyone, and we thought we had created a better world. And then came Margaret Thatcher. And suddenly, it disappeared. We discovered that hunger was being used by our government to punish people who were poor, to discipline them, to show them that their poverty was their own fault. If they had no home, it was their fault. If they had no job, it was their fault.
Stop bloody ignoring me. I'm here, right in front of you.
And of course, we've been told all along, in the 5th richest country in the world, there is no alternative.
You won't let anybody hurt you. Nobody.
Well, you speak of resistance. I think there is an alternative, but we just have to fight for it.
Paul, Ken, you've been working together for so many years, so many decades. What's the secret? What keeps you going? How does the spark ignite that we need to make a film about this?
I think there is no alternative, really. I think there's no alternative. We've seen our societies fragment in front of our eyes. In Britain, which obviously we know best, everything is dissolving. Transport, health, education, poverty, neglected areas. There's a sense of pain in the country, sense of anger, and no one quite knows where it's going to end. People live in a state of security, well, as you saw, but it's not only hunger now. Since we made that film, there are 3 times as many people like Daniel Blake, 3 times as many. Last year, it went up by over 50% just in 1 year, of people being hungry. And we feel it's a situation, it will not go on forever, you know, but what happens? And we know one danger of what happens when society is in such collapse is that the far right move in. And that's the danger we face. And it's a very real danger. As we look across Europe, it's a very real danger. But there is resistance. There is resistance. And it's coming from the bottom, it's coming from the grassroots. And everywhere you go, you see people angry, but putting their anger to constructive use. And I haven't been in Europe much for the last few months, but I get a sense that it's the same in Europe too, because the alternative is just too catastrophic to contemplate. We can't tolerate the rise of the far right. And we can't tolerate the collapse in the environment that is facing us. And yet we have a government that is even now giving more licenses for oil and gas, just at the moment that the climate and the environment is collapsing. And we live in a world of such stupidity, of such brutality and violence, that people look for scapegoats. And this is the great danger, I think. And this is why we made this film. Is because when people feel in danger, then those in power say, don't look up. Don't look to the people who are exploiting you. Don't look to the people who are creating this havoc. Look at the poorest people. They're the ones to blame. Look at the most vulnerable. Look at the people fleeing war, fleeing hunger, feeling oppression. They're the ones to blame. And that's why we wanted to make this film, because we know that's not right. We know the collapsing economy, the collapsing society isn't due to the poorest people, it's due to the wealthiest. And that's the problem we have. And just to say one other thing, about hope. Because another reason we wanted to make the film was to find hope in these darkest times, to find hope. Because hope is political. Because if we feel we can change things, then yes, we hope. If we feel there's nothing we can do, the opposition is too strong. This is the way the world is. We can't do anything. That's when the right wing strike, and that's when they say they peddle their lies. So hope is political, because we can change things. We do have strength. We can be organized. And that's the basis of hope. It isn't a fairy story, it's what we can do. So let's hope, eh? Let's hope. Let's hope.
Well, after a reception like that, I just hope to hell you enjoy the film, because that's going to be the biggest anticlimax in the history of the Locarno Film Festival. And Marcos, after 23 years, it'd be a terrible shame to end it with an empty plaza. So I hope to hell you like it. Yes. It's just, I echo all the words that Ken said, but it was a beautiful clip. Thank you for doing that.
I didn't do that.
Well,
that was our...
Well, whoever did it,
aye.
And whoever laid out 8,000 seats, thank you as well. But it did strike me that Ken first came here to Locarno in 1972, which is just over 50 years ago. And just listening to Ken just now, it does make me wonder what our world will be like in another 50 years. According to the scientists, the 97% consensus of the people who report from the IPCC, the International Panel on Climate Change. They're telling us now that the warnings are flashing. I wonder what the alpine glaciers will be like in 50 years. We've got tornadoes, we've got heat domes, we've got mass sea dyings, and it's telling us there more clearly, even there in the cinema, nature is telling us something very, very important. So I think we do need hope to come together to try and give a better future for our grandchildren and our children. And seeing 8,000 people here coming together with the disposition to try and stand in someone else's shoes, if that isn't a sign of empathy and curiosity, and if it doesn't give filmmakers hope and encouragement, nothing will. So a massive thank you.
Thank you very much indeed for being here. We're looking forward to seeing your film. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. Enjoy your night in Locarno. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Jonas, se Locarno è famosa nel mondo per essere attenta alle cinematografie emergenti, questo lo deve anche a Open Doors, un progetto che da più di 20 anni affianca e accompagna le voci e gli sguardi più diversi. Ora ho il piacere di chiamare la responsabile di Open Doors sul palco, Giugi Bancuti. Welcome. Buonasera, Giugi.
Buonasera.
Giugi, tell us a little bit about the journey you are doing on Latin America.
It's very difficult after Ken Loach, I have to say, because everything what we do with Open Doors, it represents what was said, I think, and thank you. And I wrote something, but now it's very difficult because I'm very moved about what was said, so sorry. So after experiencing 2 vibrant, intense, and successful years with Latin America and the Caribbean, Open Doors has arrived at the end of this edition at Locarno. We are halfway through the program, and until now we have welcomed more than 100 filmmakers from the region in Locarno, and more than 500 or even more joined us online. This is thanks to the collaboration with the Swiss Agency of Development and Cooperation, and as part of the Locarno Pro Days, this program offers a unique opportunity for the filmmakers coming from underrepresented territories to develop their skills through workshops, labs, and networking opportunities. The discovery of something new has been always the mission of Locarno Film Festival. This mission is expressed not only through the selection of works presented to the public, but also through the programs dedicated to film industry professionals who in Open Doors and in Locarno Pro find the point of reference and support of the highest quality. We believe that opening these doors for emerging talents can truly shape the future of perspective for both the festival and the region, and helps to create a more open and more collaborative film industry. So let's embrace together the power of storytelling and celebrate the magic of Latin American and Caribbean cinema.
No hay nadie en esta ciudad que haya visto llover.
For me, Open Doors, it's opportunity. It's a new windows to tell our stories.
Yo creo que es como poder tener acceso a una llave para abrir una puerta a otro universo, que tienes tus propias reglas y de pronto es la oportunidad de entender estas reglas, ¿no?
Before coming to Locarno, I used the online tools, and afterwards I was literally held by hands with the whole team, and they guided me through the whole process until making me be here with you.
Last year for me was a wonderful experience. I screened last year in the screening. This year it's called the Directors Club, and through that I met Nadine Rollins, who is now producing my next feature film, Raised by Goats, and so this is why I'm back.
Last year when I was here, I was equipped with the tools that I needed to be an effective and efficient creative producer. So now that I have a project with Gibri Allen, I'm just ready to take the bull by the horn and go. Take 3.
Es como un grupo que sueña de manera colectiva en que algo nuevo es posible.
Miokondo Biokondo will make a way where there is no way.
And I now call on stage Patricia Danzi, Director of the Swiss Agency for Development and Cooperation. Bonsoir et bienvenue. Bentornata a Locarno.
Buonasera, Piazza Grande.
Buonasera, Patrizia.
Patricia, pourquoi ce partenariat entre la direction du développement et de la coopération et Open Doors du festival existe-t-il?
Alors peut-être certains d'entre vous pensent que c'est comme un mariage forcé, mais en fait, ce n'est pas ça. C'est une histoire d'amour qui dure déjà depuis 20 ans et qui est basée sur une vision de la direction du président Marco Solari, des gens qui voulaient vraiment amener la culture et le développement ensemble. On sait que la culture, c'est un pilier du développement. Comment le faire? On a un festival, un super festival, un festival A, et on travaille en développement dans beaucoup de pays où on a des talents A. Et comment on va merger ça? Donc, on avait trouvé cette façon de le faire, vous venez de voir, on crée des ateliers et on ouvre des espaces, des portes pour les artistes qui peuvent se développer, qui peuvent créer des emplois, qui peuvent créer une industrie chez eux, mais aussi, et ça c'est la chose encore plus jolie, ils ouvrent une porte chez nous, ils nous offrent une vision, un espace, des choses qu'on ne lit pas dans les journaux, qu'on ne lit pas sur les médias sociaux, mais que c'est leur vision et ils racontent leur histoire et c'est un cadeau qu'ils nous offrent. Et dans les temps qui courent, avec les guerres, les démocraties qui sont menacées, nos artistes, on est bien conseillés de supporter et puis de soutenir nos artistes qui prennent des risques, souvent, pour nous montrer la culture, les films et les espaces.
Open Doors si concentra quest'anno, l'abbiamo sentito, sui paesi dell'America Latina e dei Caraibi. Io vorrei chiedere che cosa rappresenta per lei questa regione nella sua funzione.
La regione dell'America Latina e Caraibi è una regione piena di talenti, di energia, passione, però ci sono anche delle sfide, violenza, diseguaglianza, e questo causa sofferenza, causa migrazione, causa molto sofferenza. E allora noi portiamo da tanti anni lo sviluppo all'America Latina e Caribe e questo fa parte delle cose che vogliamo fare, la cultura di questa regione qui a Locarno. Io personalmente ho lavorato, vissuto in questa regione e lo guardo in cuore per sempre.
Mi permetta ancora una domanda. Vous l'avez dit aussi, nous traversons une période difficile de changement, le climat, la sécurité, la pandémie, l'économie, etc. Open Doors, ou le film en général, peut-il nous inspirer des idées innovantes qui nous permettront de changer durablement notre planète?
Je pense que les films, ils peuvent ouvrir des portes, mais le changement d'attitude, c'est nous qui devrons le faire. Donc les projecteurs, ils les montrent dans les coins qu'on ne voit peut-être pas, mais après, on doit regarder et on doit se tourner et on ne doit pas l'ignorer.
Grazie mille, Patricia Danzi.
Grazie.
Grazie.
E grazie anche, I would like to thank you, artists, agradezco mucho que ustedes nos puertan esta visión, and a special thanks to Open Doors and the passion that you bring to the festival. It's not, we don't take that for granted. Passion in this world is not something we can take for granted. Passion and vision, and we have a heart and we have a vision, so there is hope, as we heard before, and we will take it. Grazie mille, en schönen Abend e arrivederci.
Grazie mille a lei. E Giona, non ci resta che augurare buona visione con The Old Oak, buona serata sulla Piazza Grande, a domani.
Buona serata e a domani.